So, my dear students, welcome back. So, today we will be starting our unit 5, that is organizing. My dear student, you must have heard sometime people saying that your work is very organized. Yes, and this also you must have heard that see how your table, study table, it is very unorganized. Please keep the things properly. You should organize the things properly. You must have heard it. So basically, the term organizing literally means what? To arrange systematically or to arrange the things in order. That is called organizing. I will take the example here that when I asked you to give me your plans, you set your own plans, right? So when we were discussing the process of the planning, I gave you a task and see what you have sent me. I'm showing you it here. So you did what? You set the objective. Then you go for the developing the premises, you identifying the alternative. Then you go for evaluating those alternatives, correct? And then you selected that alternative. After selecting the alternative, you go for implementing that plan, and then you go for the follow-up action. So all these things which you have sent me, I'm just showing you here. I'm not commenting on this whether this is correct or not, but see what you have shown me here. You have set a target, you have set an objective. So what is your objective? You say that I want to score 95 plus marks in CBSE board examination. And why you want to get it? Because you want to get admission in a very reputed university or a college, good college. So what you have done to achieve your objective? This is what you have planned, right? So I'm sure you all must have prepared a plan for yourself, like this you have shown me, and those who have not sent me, they must have some planning in their mind, correct? So it's a perfect plan, but you will achieve your objective only if you organize the resources properly. Yes, I'm repeating it. Say, planning is perfect. You must plan. You have sent me, but you will be able to achieve these objectives, this target only if you organize the resources properly, right? You agree with me? So now when I'm saying here the resources word, there are two resources mainly. One is physical resource, another is human resource. Physical resource like the books, the notebooks, the pen, the study table, the study lamp, table lamp, and the place where you can study with all your concentration and focus mind, right? And then what are the human resource? You yourself, as well as the teacher who will guide you to make short-term goals, to help you in preparing the notes, to help you in writing the answers of the questions, right? To how to manage your time well. So and then your parents, they help you in providing you the facilities, right? If they, like your mother, she cooks and give you the breakfast, lunch, dinner at the right time. No, whatever you need, they are there to provide all these things to you. So these are what? Human resources. Now, did you realize what you are doing in this way? So all those resources, arrangement of the resources is called what? Organizing. This is known as organizing. See, to achieve this target which you want to achieve in your life, so each of your, the subject teacher will divide the course. Like some will teach you accountancy, a teacher is teaching you economics, a teacher teaching you English or business studies. They give you the names of the best reference books, content which is available online or whatsoever, all these things they provide you. So all this is what? All these things are the part of organizing resources to achieve the ultimate goal which you have planned. So, my dear students, I am sure now you can easily understand that what is organizing. So, organizing is basically arranging resources that will be required. So, in your case, the syllabus, textbook, reference book, notes, teachers are the resources, and then ensuring that the optimum utilization of those resources, like learning from the teachers, clearing all your doubts, reading the reference books and other content. So these are what the part of the optimum utilization of resources, and then dividing that objective into smaller achievable and attainable tasks. So like preparing chapters wise note, giving test, preparing chapter wise notes, taking your test, solving past examination paper, dividing objective into smaller tasks. So that will come under this, and then empowering workforce to accomplish these tasks. So teachers teach students to concept and their you can say the application while solving different types of questions is preparing the workforce to accomplish the final objective. So basically we can say that organization translates plan into action by deciding who will perform a particular task, how and where it will be performed. Right? So, my dear students, if you open your NCERT book, you will find a case is given which is from an article by Mr. Malhotra for Epoch Times, Washington. So, here I would request you to pause the video and read it properly, and then we'll continue our discussion. Okay, now whatever we have discussed about organizing, so one thing is very clear here. Once the plan has been prepared and objectives has been specified, now the next step which a manager, which an organization has to take, a business has to take, is organizing resources in such a manner that we can accomplish our objective or we can achieve our goal. Correct? So, critical issue in achieving any objective, any say goal which has been specified in the planning process is what? Structuring the work of an organization to adapt to the dynamic business environment. Any business organization's activities basically should be organized in such a manner so that the plan can be successfully implemented. So actually this organizing helps you in achieving the plan which you have made earlier. So planning to be fruitful, a lot of considerations are there which are which you should take into your consideration, like the resources that would be needed, the optimum utilization of the same into small task, then empowering your workforce so that you can accomplish that task. Like I gave you the example in case of your study. See, if you see this case of Wipro company, it is very evident here that Wipro has moved towards reaching for its goal of becoming a globally successful technology company. I would advise you here that you must study the history of Wipro company, that what actually they were manufacturing and what they are known for nowadays. So tell me one thing here. Is organizing going to play a significant role in implementation of those plans? What has Wipro done to become a contending force among other global giants? Are there any lessons to be learned from this company called Wipro? So Wipro has organized itself in a manner that allowed customer orientation to dominate over other goals, and they have diversified on the basis of the product lines. It also has modified the relationship within the management hierarchy also to suit the goal. If you read it here, you will understand it. It's very clearly mentioned. The management function of organizing ensures that efforts are directed towards the attainment of the goal which the company has laid down during their planning function, so that the resources are used optimally and people are able to work collectively and effectively. So it is in the context of effective management that the organization functions on due importance. So basically it is a means for translating plan into action. So the organizing function is very important. So this function only leads to creation of an organizational structure, which includes the designing of roles to be filled by suitably skilled people and defining the interrelationship between these roles so that there is no ambiguity in the performance, there is no confusion in the performance of duties, and if there is any ambiguity, that can be eliminated. And this also ensures that there is no ambiguity, as well as the responsibility, the authority has been clearly stated by grouping the activities. So all those things we are going to discuss here. Before now I talk more about the organizing as a function of management, let us now understand that what we are going to study in this unit. This is the syllabus of your unit 5 organizing suggested by CBSE. Some of the topic has been deleted from this which were in the last year, so I also have deleted it and I would not be talking about those things which were there, so there is no confusion in your mind, right? So only this much we have to study this year. Please be very particular and focused about it. So we would be talking about the concept and importance, A. Then we would be discussing the organizing process. We would be also discussing the structure of organization, right? The functional and divisional structure of the organization. Then we would be talking about two more concepts, that is, one is delegation, another is decentralization. When time will come, I would be explaining all those things to you. And I must state here that what is the learning objective of this unit. You as a student, after studying this chapter, you would be able to explain the concept of organizing. You will be in a position to explain the process of organizing. You would describe the importance of organizing. You will be in a situation to explain the meaning, advantage and disadvantage also of functional organization, same of the divisional organization also. And then you would be able to explain the concept of delegation and decentralization, and then importance of delegation and decentralization, as well as you will be able to set a clear-cut difference between the delegation and decentralization. So this is the learning objective of this unit. Now based on this, we will continue our discussion. Now we'll take an example to understand how organizing actually takes place. You must have seen that whenever we organize any big event in our school, so what goes on behind the scene? Have you paid attention on this? That particular event where you have participated and how much enjoyment you had. So what goes on behind the scene to make it the desired reality which you have seen? So basically what happens, the whole activity is divided into small tasks. Group is formed who would be assigned a particular task. Different committees are made, different head of the specific activities are made, and they take care of those things. And then finally there is one person who coordinates everything, and then the things comes in front of you in a very well organized things, and then you say that, oh my god, it was such a nice organized things, isn't it? And this is possible only when you have utilized the resources properly, you have divided the work right? So basically you have done this function of management organizing well. That is why it happens. So here we need to understand this organizing in two concepts. You can say there are two concepts of organizing. One is as a structure and another is as a process. Correct? So let us we first talk about as a structure. The organization structure can be defined as the framework. I want here to put your attention, framework within which all managerial activities, all operating tasks are performed. That is called the organization structure. So this will be known as the structure of the organization. You must have seen this. When I'm saying organization as a structure, actually I want to talk about this. Again, I have taken here the example of the Wipro company. Who is the head of Wipro company? You all know it, no? So Azim Premji. Now, under him, there are these people who are working in that organization. So they may be called together as board of directors, so there are some functions of the organization which are being headed by these different people. So he is a joint CEO IT for business. Then there is a head who is taking care of the human resource department. Then there is one person, Mr. Suresh, he is taking care of the finance department. Then these are the different people who are head of the different units, different department, different segment. So all these, this is called as organization structure. In your school also you can take the example, like head of our organization Sunbeam group is Deepak sir, Bharti ma'am. And then there is a board of directors. Then principal of the different branch. Then comes the coordinators. And then the class teacher. So all these are what? The structure of the organization. So one is as a structure. And the second which we have to discuss organizing as a process. So here it can be defined as a process. So when I say it is a process, means we need to initiate implementation of the plan. The plan which you have made, now here you will implement that plan. How will you implement? By clarifying the jobs, that these are the functions, these are the work which you have to do it here. So you need to clarify the job. Are you getting it? Then you need to establish the working relationship. Working relationship here means who will report to whom, who has the authority to order the people. So that is called as working relationship. Getting it? And then finally you need to deploy the resources. Already we have talked about this, that resources are of two types, physical and human resources, so that the identified and desired result or the goal or the organization's objective can be achieved successfully, easily. So this is as a process. This we can define organizing as a process. So we can say that organizing basically is a process which coordinates the human efforts, which assembles the physical resources, and they integrates these both means human resource as well as physical resources into a unified whole. So putting this thing as together in one unit, so that it can be utilized properly to achieve our specific objective which we have planned. So in this way we can say that organizing is actually putting plan into action. So if it is asked that define organizing, and finally once again I have written here that how will you define? You will define it as a process. It is, so you should remember this word process, and then you have to remember that by clarifying jobs and working relationship. This is another thing which you should remember here. Getting it? And then how you will do it? By effectively deploying the resources, right? So that you can achieve the identified and the desired results or the goals, correct? So these process, clarifying jobs, effectively deploying resources are the words, keywords which you should remember to define organizing as a process. Structure we will discuss again in detail. So I'm not putting more focus on the structure part here, but as a process we are discussing this. So for today, this much is enough. Next day we will be talking about the importance and the process of organizing. Then the things would be more clear. Thank you.